Welcome, Talkin Fight fans, to another wonderful installment of your favorite show of the week. That's your Knockout Award, the Knuckle Up Knockout of the Week with Mike Orr and Cedric Benn. Cedric, how you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Great night of fights, great night of knockouts, great night of stoppages.
Whoa,
Beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
Whoa. Last night was big in the world of stoppages when it comes to pro boxing, man. There was a lot of commercials last night, I must say. A lot of commercial breaks.
Other than the extra commercials.
Yeah.
That honestly was probably that was a record for the length of time between fights from a card. That had to be.
Oh my god. Like it was unreal, man. It was unreal. I was ecstatic, man. I was so happy with how much happened. But yeah, man. So let's talk about it. We had a big card, right? We had the Herring Stevenson card. On that card as well, we had Evan Holyfield, Xander Zayas, Nico Ali Walsh, and Troy Isley, Haven Brady Jr. Shout out to Haven. He's going to be joining us in a couple of weeks. Jump on and talk about his unanimous decision win that's improved from the 4-0. Troy Isley came through with a nice stoppage last night. It was great. But the one that's really just put people on that map, I guess, is that Cobb fight, man. Antoine Cobb coming through on his pro debut against Jerome Campbell, and it ended in a beautiful fashion with a brilliant knockout. He is our winner. Spectacular. And guys, the picture on the thumbnail is actually the shot that we were talking about. You can find the link to that knockout highlight in our comment description, courtesy of our producer, who's going to drop that any minute. Guys, Anton Guap.
That might be the thumbnail of the year, I think.
Yeah,
honestly, the thumbnail of the year.
Honestly, brilliant overhand right, well placed, well timed,
accurate, right on the chin. I tell people all the time, like, we watch fights and like you'll see fights where the person will have cuts here and a bloody leaking from the nose, a cut from the eye. They're getting battered and bruised all over their face, and they can still come through. The Gotti Ward type fights, they can still come through. But right here, this area, from right here along that jawline, any type of power lands along this jawline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it was, especially when you're not expecting it. His opponent, I forget the opponent's name again, but because he kind of slipped the jab, and then with that right hand came, he didn't even see it coming. When he was turning his head back, he was met with the right hand, and the right hand said, "No, you're turning your head the opposite direction."
yeah. You know what? It was well placed. It was brilliant. I keep watching it over and over again just to see if I can hear any extra sounds. But you don't hear nothing but leather on face and ass on back. That could you hear. Honestly, if the ropes
leather on face at a high pace. Ooh,
yeah.
There you go.
if the ropes weren't there, that man would have been sitting in the front row. That's how hard he got hit. Honestly, it was one of those like those dramatic drops that you see in the movies, like the nice shot and then the
highlight. Yeah.
Highlight.
It was like a movie knockout.
Yeah, definitely a boxing movie knockout. Definitely a boxing movie knockout. It is. I know it's got to be in running for knockout of the year. Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely has to be in the running for that. I give it off to him, man. Like, it's not many times that these guys will come in and on a pro debut win with such pizzazz.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to have that type of debut, but it's hard to force it. Like, it's hard to force yourself to have a spectacular knockout. Every single boxer wants all their fights to go like that, right? But it's very rare that it happens. So for that to happen in your pro debut, that's even more the reason why you got knockout of the week.
Oh yeah, knockout of the week for sure. Hands down our winner. And I told you, And I told you at the beginning, man.
You
I told you at the beginning. I already knew the winner. I had it picked. I was convinced that this was our winner. To all the fans out there watching, I didn't want to spoil it for you. I didn't want to tell you who it was, so you guys could get here today, and we could discuss it. Also, I just want to give a shout out to all the fighters that competed on Friday at the Olympia Theatre, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Shout out goes to all the people there that won. There were no knockouts on that card at all, actually. The entire card went unanimous decision. It went the distance. There's a bunch of 4-rounders, a 6, but then we had Oscar Rivas versus Ryan Rosenick. And
Rosicky,
you know what?
Yeah,
Rosicki, sorry. You know what? It went the distance. He won on points. Rivas was deducted a point in round 12 for the low blow. So there could be a lot of, could be one of the reasons why he did lose. But
time out. Who Rivas won?
Rivas won. Oscar Rivas won that. He now improves to 28-1. And you know what, Ryan? Sorry, I guess you suffered your first loss in your career. It's unfortunate. He was 13, I believe 13 and 13-0.
Much respect to Ryan Rosicki. First of all, that was he usually fights at cruiserweight. This was his first step-up fight, and talk about a big step-up fight. It was for a championship belt against Oscar Rivas, who has a lot of experience. His only loss was to Dylan White, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And a big guy, hard puncher. And for Ryan, for Rosicki to go to distance with him and have a close fight with him, that still means something. Shout out to his coach Steve Bailey, very good coach, amateur and pro coach. So I know he had him prepared. Shout out to the Canadian Ryan Rosicki.
Definitely. We shout out the Canadians for sure. Final scores were Jack Woodburn scored at 115-112. Jose Manzur scored at 116-111, and Juan Carlos Peleo scored at 115-112. And there's your unanimous. Rivas coming through with the victory. But you know what? Really, really happy that Ryan, performed the way he did, brought it the distance. You know what? Great card out of Montreal. You know what? A lot of technical boxing there, man. No knockouts, no TKOs. Everything went the distance. It was a great card to watch, guys. If you can go back, check it out. I believe it's on Fight Pass. You can catch that, or you can catch the highlights over on YouTube. It's great. But the talk of the night, man, honestly, the talk of the entire evening today is the entire card. Herring, Stevenson.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for a better card.
Let's start from the main event and work our way down. I want to make something clear right now, because before everyone gets everyone jumps on it. Shakur Stevenson, I'm making a prediction right now. Eventually, in the next couple of years, he will be undisputed pound for pound champion. Like, I think it's going to be an agreement. Right now, most people say either Canelo, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, as far as the pound for pound king of boxing. In a couple of years, I honestly believe Shakur Stevenson will be that unanimous decision that won't be debatable. I said this since just his boxing knowledge, his IQ in the ring. Like, he's, sometimes you'll see a kid that acts more mature than their age.
Yes.
Inside the ring, like Shakur Stevenson, he does, like, he's more mature than his boxing age. He knows his distance perfectly. Even just going back to his last fight, where a lot of people were criticizing him for not going for the finish, he was honest. He's like, yo, this guy hits hard. He hits hard. I wasn't trying to get hit. I knew I was winning, so I just kept doing what I'm doing just to win. So, he has a good boxing head on his shoulders. Hopefully he stays focused and not get himself trouble outside of the ring. But Shakur Stevenson, he's going to be that next pound for pound guy.
Last night I was very impressed. I did call it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Mike. Yes, you did call it, just to make it official. Mike did call that stoppage, 10th round. I will give him full credit for that. Yes, you did.
Give myself a little pat there. But you know what impressed me the entire evening? Stevenson you know, out height, outreached. And you know what? Honestly, he fought like the taller man last night. He fought bigger. He fought like the reach didn't matter. He fought like it was even. You know, he was untouchable. His defense really showed.
You said it right there. The reach thing. It's almost like Stevenson. He knows your distance, what you can do and what he can do, and it looked like Herring was trying to figure that out during the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Stevenson already knew that calculation, how far I need to stand where you can't hit me, but I can still get to you.
Yeah.
Even though you might have the longer reach. And Herring was trying to figure that out. And by the time
trying so hard that he abandoned his double jab. I believe it was by the end of the fourth round. He had abandoned his technique of throwing the double jab because the second jab was being missed and causing him to use too much power and tire him out quickly. He started breathing heavy by the third. You could see it. He was breathing through the mouth. That's not a good sign, man. That shows fatigue. And that fatigue is set on by throwing shots that are not landing. I believe, you know, he's Jamal Herring. You know what? Shout out to you, man. You know, true champion. You know, but he was outclassed last night. He was outclassed.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to really get it going. Stevenson's game plan was to come in, you know, push the pace, which Herring didn't want. Stevenson pushed the pace as a smaller guy. You know, he looked like the stronger guy in there. Definitely was controlling the pace, controlling the center of the ring, controlling the angles very, very well. But I was impressed with the 4-inch reach advantage that Herring had over Stevenson last night. Mattered nothing. Stevenson literally had his timing and his distance down halfway through the first. By the time the second came out, you could see that Herring was scrambling to revamp his game plan on the fly, and it wasn't working. And that's what we have. We had to go 10 rounds, ref stoppage. You know what? I give it to Herring. He put in great effort, man.
Yeah.
But new champion.
But you know what? I don't think he tried to change his game plan on the fly. It was just that he tried to change his game plan. I'm sure they trained for that. Like, if this doesn't work, we'll try this. But you know, when you're facing someone that skill level is just not just one, but like maybe 2 or 3 levels above yours, you can try plan A, try plan B, try plan C, whatever you want. But like that skill level is hard to overcome.
Right.
So Herring was trying to do what his coaches were getting him to do, because his coaches are Terrence Crawford's coaches, so they know, you know, they know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about. So they were trying to get him to do those things, but physically he couldn't do that. And
he couldn't. Yeah, no, you're right. Physically couldn't do it. He was definitely outboxed last night. Shout out to our new WBO World Super Feather Title champion, Shakur Stevenson. Great fight. So from there, we're gonna move on. I want to talk about the co-main event. Xander Zayas versus Benn.
Listen,
let me tell you,
everybody at that one
time for months. Rate this kid, watch this kid, follow this kid in his career. Every time you see him get in the ring, he's improved. He's much better and better every time you see him in his outing. Came through just overwhelmed Karpency through the entire match. He's still young. He still took a couple of hits that maybe he shouldn't have taken. You know, work on his defense a little more. But ring IQ for somebody who's, you know, now improved to 11-0, who's young in the game still. You know, this guy, he only debuted in 2019 during the pandemic. You know, he's already got 11 wins. He's number 1 out of 7 on the Super Welter.
Time out. Whoa. He debuted in 2019 during the pandemic. He already has 11 wins. Like, what the hell was he doing? Really?
Yeah. Listen, this guy's been busy, man. That's what I've been saying. I've been watching this guy. He's improved to 75th in the world rankings at a 1,561 after that win last night. So, you know, this kid, he's really making a name for himself. He's 19 years old, you know, born and raised in San Juan, Puerto Rico. He's ranked number 1 in Puerto Rico in the Super Welter division. So his manager is Peter Kahn. You know, that name is very familiar in the boxing world. You know, he's got a lot of these young youths out there. But yeah, Zayas has moved to the Sunrise, Florida. So he now trains out of Florida. He now resides in Florida. This kid, I see big things coming from him in the future, man. We're talking about a kid that's only been in this game now. In 2 days will actually be 2 years because he debuted October the 26th, 2019. So he's about to celebrate his 2-year anniversary as a pro, and what a way to celebrate with your 11th victory, and in a wonderful fashion, in a great stoppage. And you know what? Got to shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Xander. Great win. We're going to be reaching out to you soon, man, before you get too big for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Gets you in here so we can talk to you about your wonderful career, the 2 years, and what's
he's with Top Rank.
Pardon me?
He's with Top Rank.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so this, he's I was just talking about Shakur Stevenson being that guy in a couple of years. A little bit after that, because Xander, he just turned pro, so he's going to take a little bit more time. But as a coach, I always look, no matter how good you look, I look to see what type of, even if it's just one flaw that you have, to see if that's going to improve as your career progresses, or if it's someone that I'm training, that's what we're going to work on. But with Zayas, again, I know he's still early in his career, but like I did not really see too many defensive flaws. He kept his distance. He didn't get hit with any like stupid punches. So I'm gonna make sure to keep my eye on him in the next couple of years, because if he can keep this consistency with his performances, he's definitely gonna be up there.
Man, this is what I'm saying. I've literally been watching this kid since the debut, and you know what? He's everything that I thought he was going to be by now. He's kind of exceeded my expectations of where he was going to be at this point. But Top Rank, they're doing it right, man. They're signing these young guys. Zayas, professional boxer, his amateur career spanned from 2007 to 2018. He had made more. He fought more than 130 bouts, winning 11 national championship tournaments, including the 2018 youth national championship. So, he is a highly decorated amateur. It does show that he has a lot of skill. Puerto Rico, they're known for putting out these volume punchers. These guys that know how to play the distance, who move really, really well. True Puerto Rican style. But, all of his fights have been here. So, he's had all of his fights stateside as a pro. Amateur career, you can still see that Puerto Rican style, man. He fights like with Puerto Rican pride. You see it, man. The kid, though, he's very, very focused. He's going to go a long way. There's a lot of things that are going to happen with this kid. This will be a name to hear in the future, guys, man. Remember, Xander Zayas, he's now improved to 11-0. And you know what? We definitely will be seeing him soon. This kid doesn't like to stay stale. He likes to keep moving. He likes to keep fighting. So you know what? 11 career wins in a 2-year career. With the pandemic, this kid's busy. Keep him real busy. So with that, we're gonna move on to another gentleman I want to talk about, and that's Ali's grandson, Nico Ali Walsh, coming through last week with win number 2 of his pro career. The legend lives on, folks. He looked pretty good, but as an amateur, as a guy who's newly into the pro game, you can see a couple of the flaws, like you were saying earlier about Xander Zayas and not having those. A couple of things that I noticed is Nico takes a little bit too much damage on some of his exchanges. He needs to work a little bit on his defense, protect that face a bit, because when you have somebody like Wesley II, last night we talked about that. He showed very, very novice skills as a pro, dropping his head and just coming in with those wild shots. there's the little man right there, the knockout of the week. You know all about it, eh? Did Dad show you the knockout of the week?
Yeah.
Nice. So yes, Wesley though, very novice at it. One of those fighters has just put his head down and came through swinging all wild angles, and that can be very, very dangerous if you're not used to that unorthodox style. But I believe that Nico he handled himself really well coming through with that victory.
Yes. Yes. He just like his grandfather, one of the greatest of all time. He had a very good jab. My one concern was that the one flaw that the defensive flaw that I did see is that even though the jab was good and landing, when I say good because it was landing, but defensive wise, he was getting countered with a lot of right hands.
Yeah.
And Wesley, he's still working his way up. Wesley is not at that high level, so like, as he works his way up, when he fights guys that are higher level, skill level, he's definitely gonna have to correct that defensive flaw right there.
Yes,
definitely will be a problem in the future.
That could definitely become a problem in the future. You know what? If Buddy had more power, if Wesley had more power, it could have ended a lot more dangerously for Nico Ali. Those kind of shots, those unorthodox shots that you're not ready for, that are countering when you're coming in, sometimes end in you going to bed.
Yeah, exactly. The ones that you don't see coming. If you see it coming, even if you get hit with it, you can kind of block it. No, don't jump.
You can kind of block it. You can clench your teeth. You can hold on for dear life and just pray it doesn't put you to bed. But when you don't see it and that jaw is loose, and that's up or tightened, that's when you end up with those dangerous counters that you can't see. You know what? Shout out to him. Number 2 victory. Great. Can't wait to see it again. Hopefully he keeps up his winning streak. The next fight that I wanted to talk about, Holyfield's son. Wow. Impressed. Yeah. Honestly, you know what? He improves to 8-0. He improves to 8-0 with that win last night over Stanford. You know what? The first round, it was looking a little sloppy. Holyfield could have cleaned it up. But the second round, he came out and he went to town, man. He went to town on that fight. He looked good. His dad smiled ear to ear, man. You could see him happier than a pig in shit, man, that his son just came in and did what he's doing best, man. Young Holy. Shout out to Young Holy coming through with that victory last night. KO second round, man. It's
second round KO with that hard left hook. Once again, you saw where it was placed, right? Not just anywhere
on the button,
right on the chin. Accuracy. It's like throwing darts. You get the big dart board. The outside parts. You can still get points for the outside parts, but once you land it right in the bullseye, the chin is the bullseye, and that
man, right here, the mustache mark.
That left hook, was landed right on the bullseye. So shout out to Holyfield's son.
That was a left from hell. It dropped him real nice. What a great shot. I believe that's the one that took him a few minutes to get up off canvas as well. Mm-hmm. It was a devastating shot. Shout out to Evan Holyfield, doing his dad proud, keeping that family name. And, it's a hard thing, man. It's a hard thing when you carry a name like that, man. Like Ali.
Yes, a lot of pressure for
you to perform. And when you don't perform, the critics come out of the woodworks and they rip you apart. They want to rip you apart when you don't have an impressive win. But you know what? These guys are doing it big. They're doing it impressive. They're doing it with style. And they're shutting all the haters up and shutting up the critics. And you know what? My shout goes out to these guys, man. Evan, Holyfield, you killing it. Nico, Ali Walsh, killing it.
Yeah.
Xander Zayas, you killing it.
Yes.
New champion. And honestly, the reason why we do this show, Anton Cobb, congratulations on the knuckle up knockout of the week with that devastating overhand right that put your man into the ropes. Honestly, what a great weekend of fights, guys.
It was.
Honestly, my shout goes out to Anton Cobb. We're gonna get a hold of him, man. Pro debut. We want to talk to him. We're gonna get him in the studio. We're gonna interview him, and we're gonna talk to him and what it feels like and the feelings that he went through on his debut. Spectacular knockout that is now in the running for knockout of the year.
Knockout of the year, yeah, exactly.
He is now a runner-up for knockout of the year. And you know what? I've been bringing you knockouts all year, and there's been some big ones. So believe me, click that link in the description. Click the link in our comments. Check out this highlight reel knockout. You tell me if you don't think that it is a runner-up. Tell me if you do believe it's a runner-up. Tell me if you think it's gonna win.
That's what I mean. Some people might actually go with that one as the, I don't want to steer people towards one way, and there's probably some that we probably forgot about. Even remember the Oscar Valdez one. The sound of that sound like a shotgun. Anyways, yeah, we'll go through when we go through at the end of the year in December, when we go through the knockouts of the year, we'll have to take a minute to go through them, and then. But this one off the top of our heads, this Cobb one is definitely going to be in the top 5 at least.
It's definitely in the top. It's in the top for sure. Fans watching, you know what? Everybody who tuned in last night for our watching live at Talkin Fight, thank you very much. I know it's just in its infancy, second weekend doing it. We just had Cedric join me again. You know what? Be on the lookout for this show on a regular. We'll be covering the best of the fights. We'll be sitting there commentating live on these fights. Guys, support the channel. Hit up talkinfight.com. Jab the likes, hook the subscribe, knock out those comments, send out those reminders, man. Don't miss the shows. It's been time. It's been a slice. We're at that time. Knockout of the week. Anton Cobb. Honestly, doing it big. Pro debut. Click the link, guys. Check him out. Keep him on your radar. We expect big things from this guy. Definitely going to get him in the studio for an interview. Until next time, next week, guys, we got a whole channel full of stuff to keep you entertained until next week. So make sure, talkinfight.com, go to the website, hit the subscribe button, check out the shows, set the reminders, man. It'll remind you when we come on. We live, coming to you every day with the news, with the young, hungry, up-and-coming undefeated. And obviously our knockouts of the week, man. Join us for our Friday night panel where we talk about all the upcoming fights of the weekend, plus real issues in boxing today. Until next time, guys, it's your man Mike Gord 4, Cedric Benn in the den, coming to you live from the Knuckle Up Studios. That's it, baby. Knockout of the week.
Peace.
Knockout of the week.